everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Clawdcast. I am your host, Jordan, aka Hot Dog. Welcome to the show. How's everyone doing? Fellas, you want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, sure. I am Parkii Sipes, and I think that there was just a little bit of a weird mix-up because I was told that I would be hosting the Clawdcast, so maybe we can work that out after. I don't know, just sort of awkward. We can edit this out if we need to, but just sort of a,
I don't know who would have told you that you were the host, but
huh.
hmm.
It must.
Kinda weird.
I'll talk to the intern about it. You know.
Yeah.
We're definitely gonna have to talk to him because
Mhm.
Dalton Smurfss here, and I gave him $5 because he told me one, we need to pay him, which not happening.
Yeah.
Two, I gave him the $5 so I would be the host of the Clawdcast.
I see.
Oh
Yeah.
boy. Yeah.
There
Yeah, I think
must
that
be
takes
some
That's
confusion.
tough.
I think that takes his yearly salary to negative $29,500 now. So
think
that was really nice of you, Dalton. Nicely done.
Yeah, call this your grandma's 4-layer dip, and it's flavored awkward all the way down because I was also told that I would be the host of this podcast too. Turns out there's a little bit of confusion, but I'm Connor, Skarrro, whichever one you want to reference me as. But here we are. We're reining in the episode with a little bit of confusion, but we're dipping in.
All right. Well, as your real host, let me tell you what you're gonna hear today.
Okay.
That fight has been
Fellas,
proposed. Anyway,
lots has been going on in the CDL. We got the Pro-Am to talk about. We'll go over a little bit of version 1 rocker news, all that kind of stuff. See what's going on in the wild world of Eagan, Minnesota. We got a little game for you guys today. We're gonna be playing Gamer Shark Tank. We got some stuff written up for you, and then last but not least, we're gonna go into some Major 3 predictions here. Major 3 starts. Is the first match on Wednesday or is it on Thursday?
Thursday, I believe.
Qualifiers start Friday the 13th.
Is it Friday? I thought they
Gotcha.
started Thursday.
Ooh, spoopy.
I know.
It is Friday.
First rocker match is on Saturday the 14th, 6 p.m. Central. I may or may not be at the watch party in Eagan. We'll see.
Oh, okay.
But,
is it at the movie theater?
No, it's near it. It's called Union 32. It's like a brew house. They brew their own beer and then they do food as well, and it's good. If you're in town, check it out. It's a fun time. They got good beer, they got good food, and hopefully some good Call of Duty. So let's roll into the CDL news, shall we?
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Good.
I mean, really, all we're looking at is the sort of Pro-Am results, right?
Yeah.
Connor, Dalton, any takeaways for you guys?
I'll do two things. One, I had a bold take last week. We kind of had a little discussion. I said LEG were going to come out and not make winners or not make bracket play. I was right. They sucked. New York, also a honeymoon team. They're not making champs.
You don't think so? You don't think the Kismet edition is going to turn it all around for them?
No, I don't think so. They're going to be a middle of the pack team. LA Thieves, I do think that they are actually turning things around.
Yeah, so who's starting for the LA Thieves right now? It's Kenny, Octane, Draza, and Envoy, right?
Correct. They just had a role swap between, who was it? It was Draza and Kenny. Kenny went to sub, Draza went to the flex. And that seemed to work for them. I mean, Kenny didn't pop off or anything. He went more than double neg in his first map.
Yeah.
But it seemed to fix a lot of pacing and communication issues that they had been having. So, I mean, Octane actually started to pop off like, everyone kind of expects him to.
I'm glad. I'm really rooting for Thieves too, man. I just think they have such a likable roster, and they got a lot of guys who deserve some good breaks here. So, I mean, fingers crossed for them going up in the future.
Absolutely. I mean, I guess it's, you can't talk about the Pro-Am without kind of getting into the amateur teams. Before we sort of get into the final or sort of the bracket play stuff, any AM teams that impressed? I think 2 teams got some wins. Ultra NA and Strike X each found a win. All coming from, no, not reverse sweeps. The Ultra NA were Strike X beats Seattle Surge 3-1 in group play. Any thoughts there?
Yeah, I would say for me, my 2 standouts were definitely Ultra Academy NA. They were literally one map from making it out of bracket play into the bracket itself. The stat lines that they put up are very competitive, even for professional teams. And to be fair, the teams that they're going up against were teams that have had ample opportunity, get paid literally tons of money to do this for how much every single day, and have the space to do their homework, the support to really flesh out their strategies and ideas going into these matches. So I'd say very good showing for Ultra Academy for that. And then the other team that actually stood up and kind of bloodied some noses on the pro stage was StrikeX. StrikeX was what I would say, or with the 2020 hindsight vision for the tournament and
Right.
who all showed up, they had the most difficult bracket to get out of, and they almost did it, which is impressive. But to be fair, they are a roster of a lot of pros that were kind of the excess for the league this year and kind of rallied behind a roster together. So I think despite the final stat line for them on paper not looking good, I think the performance that they put on in the space that they put on is something not to scoff at.
Totally.
Very well said. Looking at Rocker's group here, where we had Rocker, LA Optic. Just kidding. LA Optic. Wow. I'm way up.
You're one throwback.
Yeah. Which no, sorry, I'm scrolling through my Rolodex here, trying to figure out the right Optic team to call out. Optic Dallas. And how do we do in the group, guys? 1-2 on the series. How'd they look? Came very close with Optic. What are your thoughts there?
I watched most of their matches. I believe they played Florida first. Didn't look that good. I thought they looked a lot better, like pacing wise and fitting into their role wise. But Florida's just been a really hot team lately, so Florida did really good there.
Florida is sorry, real quick. Florida is like, they look like an absolute all-star team.
Yeah.
In games that don't matter. Like they are the ultimate like show up when nobody cares. Like it's just so funny to me.
Yeah, they put on all-star performances in the non-clutch games, but yeah, and then made really quick work of Toronto Ultra EU, and it really looked like the Rocker really just picked up pace as the weekend went. Because the Optic game, it was a 3-1 loss, but Rocker had a chance at every game. Game 1, we won by 10 points. Game 2 was a round 11 loss. Game 3 was a control. We were up 2-0 and just let them get 3 straight, which is unacceptable. And then Game 4 was a 16-point game where we really had a chance to win. And I don't care if Illy was out. They still have 2 of the best 3 players in the league on that team. And you put up a really good fight against an Optic team that had a really good weekend. And I thought they just looked better and better as each game. So I actually have a lot of high hopes for the roster. I know a lot of people were shitting on Major getting benched. I love Major. He's a great player. But the pacing and Havoc being up there in the face with Standy just really seemed to help Standy out. Priest looked to really excel in the main AR role, which kind of surprised me. I didn't know how well he'd do, considering how good Attach was with it. But I think the whole team looks really good. There's a lot of improvement there.
That's awesome to hear too. How did Jordan General look on the map?
He did really well. I think one of the things to kind of point out, it feels like the main AR the main AR stat lines are a little misleading at the moment to me, just because they're ones that are setting up in the back and just doing a lot of cleanup behind the entry into spaces. So I would say an average KD at the moment for a lot of the players in these roles is like a 1.1, 1.3 for the main AR, which feels pretty huge in comparison to a lot of other KD stat lines. It's just like a very baseline stat to compare them to. But I would say General's performance is, again, nothing laughable. He did really well, filled in a very big pair of shoes at this event, and managed to carry them to top 4 with basically a couple weeks of prep, or maybe a week of prep. So I think that's, honestly, if he's somebody who's open up to trades, your team that's looking for another main AR, somebody who's not going to be the comm leader for your team, unless he's somebody who's willing to step up to that plate, bring out your pocketbook. You're going to pluck some good talent with those, because this guy's proved himself off this event, I think.
Okay, so
nice, man.
Jordan General has the Skarrro vouch. I love it.
So certified.
moving on a little bit here. Average viewership 26K per match. Peak viewership was only at 57K. Surprisingly, not an Optic match. It was actually for Subliners Ultra. Does this count as a chip? There are no CDL points on the line. However, everybody gets paid. So what's going on here, guys? Does this count? Can you put that in the record books as another finals?
I think so. Here's the reason I think so. This is the type of bracket, besides it being single elim, that pros have wanted forever. Groups of 4 into a bracket, playing out and getting cash at the end. Basically, the only two things that people are going against it is it's not double elim, and there's no CDL points. But if you look at it, it was a LAN with all pro teams. You had to make it out of your group to get into the bracket. I think it's a chip.
I just think from like a branding perspective, I don't think that the CDL really cared about it this much or that much. It just didn't feel that heavily advertised for. I feel like I feel like if Minnesota Rocker didn't hold that like Challengers series at their major, like that this event probably wouldn't have even happened. But the fact that it did, they're kind of like, oh well, I guess we can throw like the top 4 teams like into the mix, you know. But it was an Octane tweet that sort of changed my mind about thinking of it as more of an exhibition as opposed to like an actual tournament. And he was like, I don't know why people are arguing about this, because like at the end of the day, they were still playing for money, you know? And so like I think it would be a mistake to not try your best in this tournament, especially because a lot of teams were working on like new rosters or trying out role changes, like NYSL with Kismet Edition, Rocker with role changes and Havoc, LA Thieves, we just talked about a role change there. Like there was I think that you could look at this weekend and say because it was so experimental it may not count as a tournament, but honestly like it does, because everyone was still trying.
Yeah, I think another idea to pitch into this, I had the idea in my head, and then I was really entranced with what you were saying. But
It's okay.
maybe I need to come back to it. But damn, my bad.
I think it happens. Was it sort of about like playing on LAN or anything like that, or?
Yeah, I think it has to just bounce off the idea of everything that is present to make this event competitive, what was available to the players. And at the end of the day, it is up to the players to make the decision. And my argument against the like, oh, this doesn't count is it's just you didn't put enough weight on this event. And I think the bullet point that I was leading into has come forth, so I'll bring this one up too, is we can see the game style or the style of Call of Duty that's being played from this event from Major 2 has transitioned heavily. We're seeing a lot of the teams that have a more disciplined and structured approach to the map were the ones that found success this week. And a lot of the comments we were seeing were just like, this game isn't playing as fast anymore. What happened? And that all happened within a matter of a month. So I think with the progression that we saw, even though people are experimenting, figuring out new strats and filling each other out, the counter strats and planning were present. So I think all the pieces are there. It's just the title that's missing.
Yeah. Connor, we were talking earlier, you put it so well too, where it's like there were all 12 teams on LAN. Like why would it not count? The one thing that felt like a bummer, I was reading around and there were some points being made about this whole thing. This tournament, like it just felt so under advertised. Like there was almost like it existed, it happened, but like there was no backing from the CDL on it. It felt like there was no support, and it was almost like the pros being like, this is how we want it. Like we want a full 16 team, like four groups of 4, and bring up the the top 4 AM teams, and the CDL being like, oh yeah, sure, we'll let that happen, and then just like sabotaging it. You know what I mean? Like it felt like, oh yeah, like we'll give you what you want, and then just make sure that it fails. So that they can, at the end of the day, be like, oh yeah, look, viewership was awful for this, but really it's just because of a lack of preparation. Because this is, in my opinion, how these tournaments should go. 16 teams is so perfect, and there's just like such a vast pool of talent in the AMs. Like I just think it would be so cool to give these guys opportunities to, to show the big dogs what's up, and it feels like a squandered opportunity. I have hope that they can do this again in the future, but I would really like to see some real, punch put behind this, because it just felt like it fell so flat.
Right.
Yeah. I think... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Connor.
I think one other thing too is this is the first time we're experimenting with this format, and for a lot of first-time viewers for this, and we had a pretty big blunder with production on day one of the event.
That's right.
Which would have drawn a lot of attention to this had things not been negative marketing based on something like that. And I understand that there's a lot of moving pieces behind this, and I understand that there's a really well-developed team that's supporting this, and I just hope they are able to receive the support in order to get this operation being able to hit the ground running and operate well from top to bottom, because it does knock viewership pretty heavily whenever you're like, okay, this is a pro event, like this is well structured, this organization's been around for a while, like how do we maintain functionality like that?
Right.
So,
Yeah, there was no production on anything but the alpha. I think the Bravo had some. I know Rocker was on the Charlie stream day one. I'm pretty sure the match started 45 minutes after off schedule, and there was no content in that 45 minutes. It was a still picture with Skarrro in the background of the pools. That is what was there for 45 minutes. And you want to kill viewership, that's how you do it.
No kidding.
Maybe switch it over to Alpha and say, like, currently streaming on Alpha, this match will start soon. Give them something. All you're going to do is kill viewership with a still image for 45 minutes.
Yeah, just mirror the mainstream and just throw on a message that says technical difficulties. This match will start late.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, if the CDL's looking for 4 handsome guys to shoot the Schmidt for 45 minutes in between matches, we are willing to sell out.
Call up the Claw Squad.
Just bang our land. We'll be the D stream, the Delta stream boys. Why not get it out?
ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Damn straight.
Featuring the Claw Squad.
Man,
I like that. That's funny. Let's see. Just a quick thought, like sort of on the team changes that we've seen recently. A lot of the old heads coming back in.
I did.
Krim, taking home another chip. Havoc coming back in. So is the young and cracked meta over?
I actually saw something on that today. The 3 oldest players in the league that are currently on a starting roster have won a chip this year.
Huh.
If that's something to believe, the 3 oldest players in the league have won a chip.
I love that. Hey,
so people are talking about that.
Speaking of old heads, let's take a look at the amateur scene real quick. Doug Sensor Martin catching another hot L. As
monumental L.
He's dropped from his team to be replaced by Clayster?
Yeah.
What in the hell is going on?
A man who's about to start collecting Social Security checks. I mean, come on.
Happy birthday, Clayster, turning 30.
My grandma went to school with him.
Wow. That's wild.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know if that speaks more to my family's social dynamic.
Dude, I mean, is there really anything else to say except for this just like another day in the life of Doug Sensor Martin?
I
to
feel
be
for
fair,
the guy.
Really?
wasn't it during the Minnesota event where he signed on as a content creator for the Boston Breach? So
Yes, it was.
I wonder if it is a transition for him, maybe out of the more competitive side of the space, but I don't know his plan. This is me just shooting from the hip off the limited knowledge that I've received within the last 4 minutes.
Considering that he dropped the entire text message from his coach showing him that he got dropped over text, I don't think there was anything orchestrated about this. Knowing, just watching Sensor the last few years, I mean, he's a content creator, he streams, but all these guys are still allowed to compete. And it's like he was competing because that's something that he, he is a competitive guy, whether or not it's, he can stream those things. Like, that's something that he works on because he continues to be competitive in the amateur scene. So it's just like, I'm taken aback, frankly.
I consider it like noble irresponsibility that he's pushing for that he's pushing for like, his competitive career so much still, because I think that there's a real like great sort of content creation sort of like job opportunity that he could
Mm-hmm.
snap up on. Like, Haggy just joined the flank this week. Like, that could have easily been Doug Sensor Martin. And I
Very
bet there are
true.
plenty of people that might have preferred Doug Sensor Martin to take it over. But like, it's he's just gonna stick to competing because I think that's what he wants to do,
Yep.
Yeah,
And
the
I don't
thing-
think that's
go ahead.
irresponsible at all then. Not everybody's going to be a podcast personality, like
Yeah.
the four of us.
Exactly. I mean,
But I think that he
Go for
just
it.
is in his very nature. Like,
Yep.
his nature is podcast like personality.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
he posts those like 2-minute videos on Twitter like 3 times a week of him just talking about stuff. Like, he's
Right.
clearly good at it, and he clearly like knows how to do it.
Mhm.
That's why I think it's noble though, because he's doing what he wants. But I do also find it kind of irresponsible because it's like this opportunity is screaming at him in his face,
One other thing I will say is that him competing is his way of remaining relevant. Every time he gets dropped, there goes Doug Sensor Martin trending on Twitter again.
Mm-hmm.
True.
That's just the Doug MO, man. He just tries his hardest. Sometimes he wins and plays many men and rips pull-ups, and other times he gets dropped over text for fucking Clayster. Like, that's just like that is the Doug Sensor Martin roller coaster, and it's made him a lot of money.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I think
Many a jet skis were purchased with his Twitter drop.
So true, bestie.
I think one other piece to the Doug Sensor Martin like content puzzle that or that may be a piece to it, I don't know that for a fact because I don't talk to him, but that hasn't been explored yet, is that I believe part of his philosophy and within the professional rink is that there aren't many content creators at the high performing professional level. So he may be just trying to build that space and occupy it until there's more incentive from other forces within the community to really expand, make that space available, and to be supported by whichever party may end up wanting to do that. So you need to have that person blazing the trail, keeping that little bit of fire alive until it can really go off, So I think that's part of the philosophy he's approaching this with too.
That's very fair. And to put it politically, there are not very many AMs with the camera potential that Doug Sensor Martin has.
Very true.
Which is
Very
why it was such a good pickup by Boston Breach.
Yeah, absolutely.
He can go and
That
do
was a
whatever
great
the
idea.
fuck he wants.
Look
You
at
know?
how many.
So dang handsome. It's not fair.
Shout out to the Boston Breach squad. I see Bam in the comments right now. Look at how many people were running around at the at the second major, excuse me, with Boston Breach merch. Like Sensor walking around with the Breach cutoff was fucking iconic. Like,
exactly.
He's just stirring the pot, baby. He brings viewers wherever he goes. So
yes,
whether or not that's competing or or streaming or whatever, like it's just gonna happen.
Absolutely. Boys, have we finished our CDL updates? Are we feeling good about that? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I would like to mention just since we were talking about old heads and I can make a loose association, one final thought around Havoc is his one S&D stat that I wanted to bring out with him is his first blood engagement rates. He owned 25% of those for our team, which is absolutely incredible. So no other team really kind of saw that number backing them up. So is Havoc a fit for this? I think 100%. So I'm excited to see where our team can go. And I think the silver linings are very present for the Rocker. It's just going to take them growing into that. So go Rocker. Let's get it done.
Yeah, man. Literally, I mean, it feels like we've been saying this for a while, but again, like against the best or the second best team in the league, inches, a couple times too. Control and and search and destroy, and even one of the hard points was within 20. So guys, it can only get better.
We won map ones. Let's get it.
We went 2-1 in map ones on the weekend. That is a huge win. That is a great look for the future.
Man.
Only up from here. All right, let's go to the next item we have.
That sounds great, man. Let's talk about some competitive Valorant real quick. So the second VCT qualifier just wrapped up on Sunday. Version 1 unfortunately did not qualify for the closed quali. And if you don't understand how this works, don't worry, you're not alone. Essentially, the second major is coming up in a couple months here, and there are 2 open bracket tournaments in which you can qualify for the closed qualifier to qualify for the major.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Is
so
there a support
basically,
group for this?
it's going to be 2, I believe, 128 team tournaments that are it's single elimination up to top 16, and then it's a double elimination bracket from there. And essentially, they're going to run this tournament twice over, and then the winner semis and the loser semis in both tournaments are going to qualify for the closed qualifier. And so that's going to be 8 teams total. And then they're going to bring in the last 4 qualifiers from the last major into that closed qualifier. So there will be 12 teams total. Did I get that right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Anyways, version 1 was eliminated by complexity. They did bring it to 3 maps.
Girl Kissers, unfortunately, was who they got knocked out by.
Nope. So Girl Kissers was their first loss, and then the next day they played complexity, and they got. I guess it's a reverse sweep, but it's only 3 maps total.
Right.
And there's been a little bit of controversy that's been following. Obviously, version 1 has grown immensely in the power rankings for professional Valorant. A lot of people are putting him in top 3 in North America right now. Yeah, top 5 for
top
sure.
5. Yeah.
And for them to not be, it is, except for this monumental disappointment here in the closed qualifier. Both their coach Imi and their sort of their secondary IGL and one of their stars, Zelsis, are both claiming that their future is uncertain at the moment. I think the guys have been taking this one pretty roughly. Hopefully things will just calm down here. I mean, there is the last chance qualifier, so there is, I believe, 1 more opportunity to qualify for the next major. However, for the most part, they're going to hopefully have some time to sit, relax, just regroup, and
exactly,
go at this again for the next major. So
take a couple weeks, cool off, relax, regain, brother.
Honestly,
sounds like they need it.
Version 1 might be one of the most unlucky teams when it comes to their roster. It just in Valorant in general, with just the amount of times that they've had to play with a stand-in, out of what do we have? Sort of 6 total qualifiers to majors right now. How many times have they played with their main roster?
Yeah, I mean, they brought jammies to the first global.
That's right.
They had to fill in for the first global, and they still made a reasonable run there. We brought Thief in once.
Yep.
And he's about to run. Yeah, and then we're down.
And it's just no wonder these guys are down so bad. Whippy couldn't practice for a month.
Right.
They come back, they're looking good. They feel like they're gonna look okay, despite the sort of month of lost time. And then they just kind of get, I don't know, not owned, because they got 2-1s in each of the games that they lost. But those are both, Complexity and Girl Kissers are both teams that V1 should theoretically 2-0 every time.
Yep.
It's sort of rough.
In the last major, in the last VCT, I remember V1 played Complexity and absolutely ran them into the ground. I mean, it was like 13-4, 13-3 in those 2 maps, and it was just embarrassing, honestly, for Complexity. So to see that entire switch, it feels like burnout. It feels like these guys are just looking for a bit of a break. So I don't know, man. Fingers crossed.
I mean,
but,
that's
a bit of a bummer.
It's a rough mental to be going into for last chance qualifiers, because then their 2022 is done. If they don't make closed qualies. But on the flip side, you've got 100 Thieves.
Sorry, is there 3 global tournaments this year? Before Masters?
There will be no, there's 2 majors and then Masters, which I think is early next year, if I want to say. But I've seen a bunch of teams saying our year is done, we're out.
Gotcha.
And so I think for majors they're done. I'm sure there are small like nursery gaming sort of like tournaments that they'll all play in, but like, you know, that's season-ending stuff we're talking about.
Sure.
Yeah.
You guys,
Flip side, though.
speaking of
Yeah, go
Valorant,
on. Yeah,
I hopped into Valorant for the first time in like 3 months.
sure,
Oh,
go
yeah.
on.
Boy.
What'd you think?
It's been fucking fun, man.
It's a good game.
Yeah. So as you guys probably know, we've been playing a lot of League of Legends lately. Love that game, hate that game.
bad.
All over the place. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's just kind of how I personally roll. I just kind of like I'll no life a game for a couple months and like because when I play like I want to play long enough to really feel like I've been improving. You know.
Yeah.
Learned a ton about League. I mean, I ran like I started League, 2-3 months ago with you guys with literally zero knowledge of League of Legends. You know, I've played other
Right.
MMOs with the QWER composition, so I understand how that kind of combat works, but I've never played League before. So that was a really fun run, and then it's just like we hopped into some Val, and it's like first few matches you run into like even just going back into death matches, and it's like your elo stays where it's at essentially, and so you still get sweaty lobbies, and it's like holy shit. But then after that, like taking a step back and just being like, all right, we just got to warm up again. I have really been having fun, and I'm feeling more engaged and relaxed than ever. It's been fun, man. I've really enjoyed it. We've had some really sweaty games. Been losing a lot in ranked, honestly, so far, but we're getting there. We're down to silver 3 now, but we're building our way back up to gold.
Nice.
Yeah.
You DM'd me today. You DM'd me today, and you're like, "This is the act that Hot Dog gets plats."
There's absolutely no shot, but it's such a great meme. Like this time is different.
It's just really nice to hear that you're easing yourself back in. You know?
Yeah. One thing I did do though, like I've changed up my seating posture and like my positioning for actually playing, and so now I'm sitting almost like angled away from the desk so I can get my entire right elbow onto the desk, and then I've tilted my monitor so I can have a full proper anchor, because what I used to do is I used to play with just my elbow on my chair arm, and then basically my wrist at the edge of the table. And so now putting my entire elbow on my desk and being able to aim there, I feel so much more steady and anchored while I'm playing, and just like a little bit more close to the monitor. It feels really good.
It's a difference maker.
Man. Yeah, it's huge. It's definitely an elbow game for sure.
Also, y'all, we were 5-stacking last night with two. So we were with Blake and Brett, who are both Plat 2. We played against an Immortal 1.
Really?
Like, he was carrying 2 silvers, but there was one that was in Immortal when we finished. And we did actually win that game, which was really funny, and that Immortal did top frag. But it was like a 28-16 raise.
Yeah.
Well, you're sounds like you're not too far off Immortal now, right?
That's right.
I think that's what that means. Actually, I was our team's second frag then, so it's like
I'm not gonna limit you, dude.
I've been playing a little bit of KO. I feel a lot more. It is, dude. KO feels so useful too.
Yeah, KO's a great character, honestly,
KO's
and
fun.
it's the double initiator meta right now, and KO is basically a staple in pretty much like all team comps. Let's talk now that we're on the subject of Valorant. I'm thinking about nerfs that are coming up and like proposed ones. And the chamber nerf, which is essentially he would just lose one of his slows.
Yep.
Is not the change that chamber needed. So why would you nerf the one thing that makes him an actual sentinel instead of nerfing the things that make him too strong? I think that just is an odd change.
Yep.
You know.
Remove the slow from his alt completely, and lower the slow time. What?
Damn, that's a big change. I think it just needs to be shooting speed.
See, I've been saying that the rate of fire on the chamber alt is way too high, but I also think that the slow is too much. The slow on both the the trademark and on his alt is just, it lasts way too long.
The problem with the trademark slow is that it shoots like so far away. It is undodgeable if it like locks onto you.
Yeah.
You know,
Does have a long
that
range.
shit is super annoying.
Where it's like alarm bot, you have enough time to react. If you see it like appear, you can just like back
Right.
up and then shoot it. Where this one is like boop, boop. Although you
No
can
shot.
see this one from everywhere, so it's interesting.
True.
Yeah, playing a little less Sova. I'll play Sage if we need it. Been playing a lot of Sky and a lot of KO, and I've been having a lot of fun. Teams in silver and gold are really bad with smokes, so being able to pop flash out of smokes is a lot of fun and a big change of pace. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Playing KO almost makes me want to play CS. Is that cringe?
Don't take it back.
Don't ever do that to yourself.
Is that cringe?
That's cringe. Take
Alright,
it back.
take it
Apologize
back.
for what you
Alright,
said.
I'd like to formally apologize. I will never play Counter-Strike.
I mean,
Global offensive.
Counter-Strike, Valorant is supposed to be the casual Counter-Strike, so I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah, maybe that could be my game. You know?
Damn. Hey, let's move on. You guys want to play a little game?
Yeah, let's play a game.
Ooh, let's play a game here.
This game is called Gamer Shark Tank.
Oh,
Your Shark Tank. I like that. Do you wanna give us the basic rundown?
I would
Hot
love
Dog?
to. So we're all investors, right? And we're also all also entrepreneurs.
Of course.
And so we've all made up a product supposedly marketed towards gamers that I am going to try and convince you guys to buy. Now, like I said, all four of us have created a product, and we're just gonna, we don't know what they are, so we're just gonna pitch them to everybody. And the goal was we want a name for the product, and we want a tagline.
Yep.
Who wants to go first?
I can start out.
Dalton, yeah. lead us, man.
All right. Let's hear it, man.
So, we have gamer for everything. We have G Fuel. There's Gamer Grip. There's G for everything. But now we have G everything. It is a 12-in-1 gamer goo.
Oh.
Everything for gamers of anything.
Wow, that sounds
It is
versatile.
Oh yes, it is a shampoo, conditioner, body wash, shaving cream, moisturizer, toothpaste, hair gel, deodorant, mouthwash, eye drops, energy supplement, so you can replace like your G Fuel, and also, if your Yeezys get a little worn in, glue. So that runs $24.99 a bottle.
Wow.
We make it for $12.14, so there's a good profit to be made there.
Okay.
And like all gamer products, we have an affiliate program.
Okay, very nice.
Name, date of birth, email, social security, credit card number. You get a 1% discount code.
Okay.
You obviously must support on all social medias, or else you're not eligible for any payouts.
Naturally.
And off what you've heard, what I'm asking is 12 Gamer Girl bathwaters for a 13% stake in the company.
Well,
wow. Only 12?
Only 12.
Listen, I've got some thinking to do.
Unfortunately, I have used a few of my Gamer Girl bathwaters, so I only have 9, but my counter offer is 9 Gamer Girl bathwaters for a 10% stake.
I don't know if I'm entirely trusting this product yet. If I'm being
Really,
entirely honest.
what's got you out?
See, you're talking about the idea of having something when my hands get sweaty while I'm gaming. Does it have the same functionality? Like I can counteract sweaty hands, or if I'm just trying to keep a good hold on something, this will add a good layer to that, is what you're also telling me? Is that
I understand your concerns. Do you remember in elementary school when you'd put Elmer's glue on your hand when you were bored and it would get all dry?
Yeah, there's some really dark times.
You can use the glue for that. That's where the glue function comes in. You put it on your hands, you let that dry out, and you can't sweat through it anymore.
I see.
That's
That is multifunction. That is incredible.
Yes. Honestly, it's more like 138 in one, but we can't fit that much on the bottle.
Absolutely.
That would be small text or a bigger bottle, and that would cut into your margins.
Exactly.
Oh, exactly.
And being the cracked gamer god that I am, and having such a fine touch with my muscle memory with my controller, it's not going to impact that at all.
Oh, not at all.
Oh, fantastic! I'm wholly committed to this now.
Okay.
Well, listen. I unfortunately am already in with one of your competitors. And so for that reason, I am out. I'm so sorry, Dalton. I wish I could work with you, but unfortunately, Gamer Goo is just not in my future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will definitely be in touch with Jordan on his offer of the 10 Gamer Girl bathwaters, or 9 Gamer Girl bathwaters. Sorry for the 10% stake. I think we can make that work. I think we can
Nice.
make that work.
I like
Deal.
that.
Virtual handshake through the monitor, sir, please.
Yes.
Handshake.
That's beautiful. That's a heartwarming moment right there.
Oh man. All right. I can go next.
Go ahead, Hot Dog.
Perhaps I'm unprepared, but hello, sharks. Hot Dog here. And
Hello.
are you sick of stinky gamer room? Do you have too many RGBs and are looking for a way to decorate? Look no further. May I introduce you to plants?
What? I've never heard of those.
Huh?
With this revolutionary new product, you too can purify the air in your room and look like an adult. No longer will your room be covered in pink and red and green and purple lights, but instead you will have houseplants. Now you're asking, plants? Doesn't that mean I have to take care of them? No! These plants are genetically modified. They don't take water. You can actually just feed them the last drippings of your G fuel from the bottom of your shaker.
Wow.
No way.
That's revolutionary.
Now, Jordan, here's
Plants.
my question.
Bitches love plants.
Oh, I gotta write that down.
I've been having some trouble in the dating department recently for me. Will this new addition into my household help me get girls?
Absolutely it will.
Really?
You know what ladies don't like?
Huh? What?
RGBs.
They hate it.
No, they hate them.
They hate that.
You know what the ladies love?
What do they like?
Plants!
Oh my
Bye.
God. You're a
Buy
genius.
plants.
Bye,
And
bye,
so-
bye, bye.
This plant behind me is not dead, thank you very much. It is growing all the way to the floor, wrapping beautifully around my shelf.
Oh, that's
And I will
awesome.
no longer be addressing the accusations in the comments below.
Well, I think one thing we can confirm concerning your plant is that your room doesn't smell like a gamer grovel hole, you know?
Nice.
No, it does not. It smells pure and like eucalyptus mint.
I do have that
I love
issue,
that.
you know. You got those 2-hour league sessions that turn into 12-hour league sessions, and you get up and the whole room just kind of stank.
Yeah.
You know, you're playing hard. You
Yep.
got to make your gamer chair sweatier than your
Yep.
opponents if you want to win.
Mhm.
So you're telling me that these plants will help out with that?
Oh, they work hard.
Ooh.
Little
I'm gonna be-
oxygen factories. You leave the room to refill up on G fuel and to pee out your old G fuel, and by the time you get back, those plants have already oxygenated the room.
Huge. Okay, nice.
I'm completely sold on this, primarily because you mentioned eucalyptus mint, which is actually the hand soap that Sarah and I are using at our apartment.
Oh,
right?
that's lovely.
Did
I
you
have,
check-
I have the
It's the
eucalyptus
nice
mint
acid.
wallflower from Triple B. No, from BBW, and it's lovely. It's so nice.
Same. Oh, great stuff there.
So, Sharks, I am asking for $5 million for a 3% stake in.
That's a hell of a valuation right there.
I've already sent it
Plants.
over to you.
my man's
one
down
question.
horrendous.
Just I just need more plants in my life.
Oh man.
Does
course,
this
of course.
3% investment get me ownership in all plants on the world, or just the ones that we sell?
Just gamer plant. These are
Oh,
remember these
gamer
are
plant.
genetically
are
modified
special.
plants.
Oh,
These-
that's right. These are the genetically.
These
I don't
thrive.
want
These
want those other
thrive off
stupid
of the
plants.
tiniest bit of G
I
fuel.
want these gamer plants.
And what's
Literally-
your slogan?
Bitches love plants.
Okay, give me your Venmo quick. I will send over the
Plant.
5 bill.
Sounds good.
Got it. Bitches love plants.
Thanks.
You haven't run into any problems with like obscenity or the religious right perhaps that not liking that slogan?
No. They
Okay.
they love it. I gave
They-
them plants. And
Bitches
they're like,
love
thanks.
plants. I guess I'm
Yeah,
big-
there was there
I'm
were
convinced.
we did heavy control group studies and
Exactly.
the results were unanimously positive.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is fantastic. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Connor,
yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, he'll move on.
Okay.
Let's move on. Yeah, Connor, go ahead.
Well, I'm here to sell you on an idea.
Okay.
I'm
I'll
listening.
imagine.
I'm
And a
intrigued.
product.
Ooh.
But this product embodies an idea.
Okay.
And ideas can't be stopped.
Wow.
So, what I want to give to you is the idea of essentially oil. Or, my apologies, essentially gamer. So when you're 3 G Fuel scoops deep into your G Fuel shaker, you've been enjoying other supplements to help you stay focused and stay at the top of your game. And you just start to get a little jittery.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a too heavy of an edge to it, and you just can't find that right balance to feeling good and reaching peak performance.
Heart rate's doing 250.
That's right.
Heart rate's doing 250.
We've all been there.
Your slide canceling in your chair.
Oh boy.
I have something to help you with this here. And that's essentially gamer. It's an essential oil CBD combo that allows you to just, ease out of that heart rate problem, allow you to focus a little bit more because you're no longer just incredibly anxious, riding that edge. It's gone right there. It's made out of essential oils. You just apply it to your wrists. It'll go into your skin, go into your bloodstream right there, couple drops each wrist, and it's fantastic.
What does it smell like? What kind of flavors do we got?
Yeah.
Since it's a topical one, we come with a lot of fantastic flavors to accompany that.
Oh, great.
Such as tropical mango.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
Eucalyptus mint.
Oh, nice.
I love that flavor.
Yeah, brandy old fashioned, since we are based out of Wisconsin. Yeah.
Yes.
So, a little bit of everything for all age groups.
I did hear, I don't know if this is a leak, I did hear you are getting the FaZe red berry flavor as well.
Wow.
What?
Some chug rug.
Drink 300 milligrams of chug rug, idiot.
We are in talks with them. They are hopefully a bountiful business partner.
Is that who FaZe left G Fuel for? Can you be the first to confirm?
I don't want to force my hand early, so I'm not really going to comment too much further on this.
Fair. Those NDAs, man, they're tough.
Of course,
Yeah,
but that's nice for me to hear. I think he's in.
I'm in. I haven't even heard the offer. I'm in.
Yeah, and the slogan on it is when you're a little too cracked to come down, you can be essentially gamer.
Nice.
Wow,
I like
that's
like
nice.
that.
Elegant.
That is beautiful. I could see a really nice modern sort of like branding for that. Perhaps some Helvetica, font in the mix.
Ooh.
That's that is the modern gamer's font.
That's right.
If you will.
We have life, love, essentially gamer posters already made.
Wow.
Ooh.
I'm putting that in my kitchen.
That will sell for the gamer moms.
That's
I like that.
That's right. That's right. The two biggest target audiences in gaming. It's like 16-year-old caffeine addicts and moms. That's what we're selling to.
I love that.
Can I break character for a second here?
Yeah,
please.
So this past week, talking about gamer moms. This past week I was out of
Tread carefully.
garden because we had a plant that was blossoming that smelled like corpses, so I went to go check it out. But while I was in line, it was about a 3-hour wait to do this. There's a whole bunch of kids running around in esports gear with the ESG or ESX branding on it. And apparently there's this branding for esports apparel for young gamers. So it's not like a team apparel or anything like that. It's clothing specifically engineered to be the most cracked out Fortnite player you can be. So it just cracked me up when I went to go Google it, and that's what it was. But yeah. So anyway, it just reminded me of that. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that you all are buying in on the essentially gamer.
We're gonna make a lot of money here. Parkii, I believe you're last. Oh.
Uh-oh.
The essentially gamers has crashed his internet.
Elise pulled the plug on the
gamer moms here.
Yeah, Elise pulled the plug on the router. Huh.
He's just so zoned in. Did you give him his free sample of essentially gamer already? He just looks very mellow.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Two drops, yeah.
Wait, did you say 2 drops or 2 bottles?
Oh God. Checking the email now.
His heart actually
What
just
have I done?
stopped. Now, all that mellowing out, that's just from CBD?
No, it's the essential oils.
Oh, it's the essential
Okay.
oils
Yeah,
that do
the
that.
CBD
Nothing else?
this-
No other, experimental
No.
shit in there?
No, the CBD is purely there for when you've been looking at a monitor for a long time and your eyes start to bother you a little bit.
Smart.
A little bit of blood in the
It's
corners.
good,
Yeah.
I
good,
like that.
good release. I like that.
Yeah.
We got a DM, hopefully a short internet blip. All right, well, we lost Parker here. Should we move on to CDL predictions?
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah.
So we have 3 matches Friday, 4 matches Saturday, and 3 matches Sunday. Let's start with Friday, fellas. We got, first up, we got Thieves versus London. We have Optic Texas versus LAG, and we have Subliners versus FaZe. Let's start here. Welcome back, Parker.
Boys, I'm back. Is my camera on?
Not quite yet, but it may be
Should be
because it's
shortly.
disabled. Oh! Thanks for blinking.
Gentlemen,
Are you back? Yes, you are.
I'm back.
You are back.
Do you want me to pitch my product to you?
We would love that.
All right, okay.
Oh, is he standing up? Holy!
Fellas, we've all been there. I know I have. I've been sitting down having a hardcore gaming session,
Classic.
and I just don't feel like touching grass. You know, exercise is the last thing on my mind. Would you mind if I have a seat? I'd love to chat with you guys about this.
Yes,
Please
Listen.
come in.
Fellas, we've all been there. You know, I just don't have the time to exercise, but I want that summer body.
Sure
I'm
do.
too busy gaming. Well, the problem has been solved with Gibby the Gaming Tapeworm. It's simple. It is simple. You simply order Gibby online, and he comes in a little bottle, and you take his tasty ass down. And Gibby's pain is your gain. Wait, Gibby's pain is your gain, ladies and gentlemen. He takes all those nasty little calories and eats them just up so that your body doesn't have to worry about them. And for a small additional fee, we will send you
What
like
is-
a world-class surgeon to remove Gibby the tapeworm for a small additional fee. You too busy gaming, but
Take
you want
it!
that
Take the
summer
card!
bod?
Take the card!
Gibby the gaming tapeworm. Speed run weight loss.
Oh no.
Anyway, any questions?
Where do I sign? How do I get in on this? That's all I need to know.
His name is
Let me tell
Gibby.
you about some of our results. Our buyers typically experience 50 pounds of weight loss within 1 month, and we've had none make it past 3. So, better order that doctor before 3 months. But just in time for summer. I know that we're all looking to, have that hot summer bod, and now it is attainable for your everyday gamer for the low price of $24.99.
Wow, that
that
sounds
is
so
affordable.
convenient and with
Yeah.
absolutely no
It's
side
incredible.
effects.
It's awesome. You take it and you forget about it. It's that easy.
Are there any side effects?
No, don't ask. Stop asking that question. Seriously.
I guess my only question that I have about this product is
Uh-huh.
where does the muscle tone that I want come from?
Where does the muscle tone? Well, listen. If you're skinny enough, you got a 6-pack, and that's our like sort of vision for Gibby.
Wow. That's
um,
excellent.
You
That's
know,
an excellent point.
it's like skinny. It's like skinny built, not like built.
Gotcha.
That's sort of the vision that we're looking for.
I love it.
I'm here for that vision, man.
Yeah,
I'm
you
all
like
about it.
that?
Now,
Yeah.
Gibby,
Listen,
is that any
of
relation
course.
to the iCarly character?
For legal reasons, no.
Okay.
But like,
Sure.
it's
Man,
it's really something. Yeah.
I'm in.
So
Personally,
you like
Another
that?
question.
Yeah, what's up?
Do I get to name my tapeworm before ingesting it, or are they all named Gibby?
That is what's so great about Gibby is that is completely up to you. You want to call him Victor, call him Victor. You want to call him Joseph, call him Joseph. That's what's so beautiful about Gibby the GT is that it's yours, and we value that here at Parkii Enterprises.
Wow. I'm speechless.
Best pitch I've heard today.
You like that?
Truly,
that's
truly incredible.
Sometimes you just have to look at the things that you'd want to use,
Yeah.
and bring it to the people, and that was my inspiration, Sharks.
I am so glad that we didn't let you talk about this before the show, because the genuine shock that I just felt hearing about Gibby the gamer tapeworm was, I mean, that was all genuine, folks. My God, what a performance.
Thank you. Would you believe that it was off the top? That's
Brett says, the Gibby that keeps on gibbing.
That's right. That's right. You know what, Brett? If you want a job, you've got one here at Parkii Enterprises, because that's the kind of creativity we need.
That's the pizzazz we're looking for.
That's right.
Fellas, let's get these predictions out of the way so that we can go back to selling products and taking over the world.
Yes.
Let's take a look at Friday first. So to pick up where I left off, Friday matches, we have Thieves v Royal Ravens. Next, we have Optic Texas v LEG. And third, we have Subliners versus FaZe. Start at the top. Thieves, Royal Ravens. Who y'all got?
I got Thieves 3-1.
Yeah, same.
Thieves 3-1.
Thieves 3-1.
What map does London take?
Probably the search. LAT's been kind of shaky in that. And London's coming off a roster change, moving into a role change now with Zero going into a sub role.
Okay.
Which I don't know how that's going to work out, but LAT's on a big uptrend and London's making changes. So
well, sure.
LAT 3-1.
Wasn't Zero a sub role at one point and then it didn't fare very well?
Yeah, he played sub. Oh, what? MW, I think he played a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
during his tenure at the Subliners, no?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Boys, I don't think London finds one map. I think that they get 3-0'd by LA.
Wow.
I would not be surprised.
I'm thinking that London makes it interesting, but Thieves come out on top, so I'm saying Thieves 3-2.
Okay.
Moving on, fellas.
Moving on.
Optic Texas, LAG. I'm
LAG
thinking
3-0.
Whoa! That's a hot take.
It's a very hot take.
What are you thinking there? Does the Spart ASIM dynasty just take over at this point? Like, what's the thinking there? Are you just trolling? Like,
about 60% troll.
Okay.
20% seething. Don't want to see Optic win.
Okay, I can understand that.
And the other 20% is complete and total irrationality.
Sure.
Okay.
I for one accept our new LAG overlords.
Mm-hmm.
I do not.
My
genuine take is 3-0 Optic Texas.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen. I don't know. I don't think there's any guarantee that Illy's gonna be back.
Mm-hmm.
I think he tried to hop straight in. It just didn't even really work for him. And so there's no guarantee that Optic's gonna be in it. I still think that they're gonna be better than LAG, but I think there's gonna be a sneaky 3-2 Optic.
Sneaky 3-2 Optic. I like it.
Yeah.
I disagree. Texas 3-0, like I said last week when we talked a little bit, LAG's win was a fluke. Spart doesn't have the Volk. Texas may or may not be getting Illy back. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
As much as I hate that.
True. I think it's just going to be close, though. I get the vibe that it just is. It's like, I feel like Optic always takes their mid-season just they have bad mid-seasons. They have great starts and ends to seasons. And so I feel like now is the time with the Illy injury where they drop,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But still win because it's LAG, and I agree with you for the most part, Dalton, that they just aren't that good,
Yep.
Yeah, I second that. And we do have all the tragedy or the Optic tragedy qualification stories checkboxes checked off so far. We have the winning an early event. we have just some roster tragedy taking
Right.
place, and now we just get to slump as the rest of the
Mhm.
league catches up to the bar that Optic set early, and
Mhm.
then Optic just has that pre-champs moment of like, oh shit, what happened over the last couple months? We actually have to apply ourselves again.
Right.
But for the Optic fans out there and for the players to like encourage them to find success, I
Mhm.
hope they're able to overcome that this year, and we can see that with the coaching staff potentially too.
Yeah,
Was
man.
the surprise Volk the whole story?
Mhm.
Is that all that's there?
With lag.
I think Spark came in with a gun that he knew, and honeymoon roster on top of a surprise gun that nobody else knew how to use, and then just rode that momentum the whole weekend. I mean, when you start a
Absolutely.
run like that, you just run with it. I mean, they were playing all
Yep.
weekend. They stayed hot. I think you're right on it there, McNasty.
Yeah, momentum is such a huge thing, like you said. Look at the couple times that Florida has won an event. Like it just, sometimes you come out of nowhere, you catch on, and it's just like the butterfly effect where things just fall into place, and it's just pure chaos, and nobody can catch you at that time. So, Texas is a better team here. I got Texas 3-1.
Fellas, before we continue, let's flip a coin for the first 2 matches.
Sure.
All right, so map 1, LA Thieves Head, London Royal Ravens Tails. Here it is. It is Tails.
All right.
Coin says Ravens taking that one.
Coin says Ravens.
Okay.
And so I just want to take a step back and let y'all know what we're doing right now. The 4 of us are going to be competing in match predictions. All of us are going up against George Washington, which essentially means that we have to try and beat a coin toss.
Beat the coin.
Yep.
Beat the coin.
So it'll be us 4, and then it'll be George Washington, and he will be picking all the maps based on complete random chance. And
That's right.
the hope is that we embarrass George Washington, but on the off chance that the coin flip does better than us, I think we have to retire. I think we just got to shut the whole thing down.
We can never give a take ever again.
Definitely.
If we lose the coin.
All right.
Okay, boys. Let's coin flips game 2.
Yep.
Optic Texas versus Lag, and it is heads.
All right.
Washington says Optic.
George
wins.
Washington is green wall confirmed.
He's part of the green wall. Wood teeth, but green wall. I like that.
Real quick, who you got? Subliners, FaZe.
FaZe.
Yeah,
FaZe 3-1.
FaZe. It's FaZe.
FaZe.
I think
Does
it's
Subliners
FaZe
get a map?
3-0. No,
I think it's
Subliners might steal one.
You think it's close like that?
I think it is
FaZe
close like
stays.
that. Yeah.
I like that. Honestly, I don't hate it. I like the 3-0 though, because I feel
Wow.
like FaZe is just gonna work harder than everyone else, and they're gonna figure it out and come back.
That's
You know,
fair.
the thing is, we've been saying that for the past 3 weeks of competing. Going into Major 2. Okay, they lost Major 1. They're going to come out with a fire.
Yeah.
They're going to win Major 2, and then it came to the Pro-Am. Okay, they've got 2 seconds in a row. They're going to take this super seriously and just run through it, and they didn't.
Yeah.
So we might be. FaZe might not be the powerhouse that we think anymore. I don't know if they have some juju going on or if they're all in their heads, but I do still think they take the series. But I think it's like 3-1.
Okay.
In New York's performance this event, they only dropped 3 maps, 1 across all 3 game modes. They looked absolutely dominant in control and hardpoint, where and S&D looked really good for them too. And FaZe, for the first time in basically their entire legacy, they're looking weak at search and destroy. If you expand it across 2 different events, they've only dropped 3 maps or 4 maps outside of search and destroy. All their tourney losses basically hinge on the search and destroy gameplay, which is one of the places where New York's looking very strong at the same time too. So I don't know. I think there's a good weight to this matchup.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
What about George Washington? What's George Washington thinking?
The coin says heads. Heads for the coin.
Oh, Subliners, underdogs. That's a wild pick from George Washington.
We're kicking the coin's ass this week.
I think so. I think so.
Let's go. We need that, actually.
Honestly.
I want to get a good lead on the coin because I'm scared of it, if I'm being honest.
Boys, first
scares me.
First matchup on Saturday, Legion Royal Ravens, the World War III, if you will. Listen.
Oh man. Yeah.
Listen. Major 3 belongs to the Paris Legion. On guard, no floors given.
Oh.
Legion hot 3-0.
That's on guard.
Okay.
They made it to the finals in the Pro-Am. Donnie Temp is gonna be the new fucking, he's the guy. 3-0 Paris Legion. That's it.
Okay.
I like the energy, I really do. But it's just not happening. It's a 3-0 for the London Royal Ravens, I
Oh,
think.
come on, man.
I think honestly, Hot Dog, you're missing out on the advantage that Coin has given us. We've got to take these wins when we can.
I agree.
Okay, maybe a little rude. This is definitely very serious and not a bit. Legion are running it
All the way through.
all the way through.
The one thing to bolster your argument, Legion are doing really well at First Bloods and Search and Destroy, so
Okay.
maybe they can
There are-
maximize on it.
There
There are stats.
There's a silver lining.
There are
It's
stats out there.
There are numbers.
I
to
got numbers on my side.
arbitrarily
You have numbers.
ideas from.
You just got to ignore the, like 2-3 series win on the year,
They're
You ignore that.
8-8 KD and Search and Destroy despite the
Oh,
Despite the first
man.
blood rate.
despite the first blood rate.
I think it's a 3-1 London. Paris do seem to be improving, and London does seem weak. I could see Paris taking the series, but I don't. London 3-1.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna echo the same thing.
Okay.
Right on.
And what does Georgie have to say for us?
Let's see it. Let's
Georgie.
run it, baby. The coin speaks, and it says tails. Coin
Okay.
says tails. Coin
London.
likes London here.
Come on, George.
All right. Come on,
George
Georgie,
Washington, of all people,
honestly-
supporting the British?
It makes
What
sense
the
that
fuck is happening?
makes sense that he's a French hater.
Blasphemy.
I get that, actually.
Next up, we got Seattle Surge v Toronto Ultra. Ultra, in my opinion, they're on the down. They're just not doing well. Seattle Surge, they got the Iceman. We take Surge in 4.
Okay.
You can't bet against accuracy.
I like the Seattle Surge pick. Because I agree, Toronto's looked rough, and I don't think that they've made any big changes about it. They did sign Scrappy as a sub, so maybe we could see him coming in if Major 3 or the qualifiers go really badly. But I just don't think that Ultra has it in them to muster a big run here. So I think that they also lose 3-1 to the Seattle Surge.
I wholeheartedly disagree. I think
Okay.
this is a
Really?
Okay.
MW19 season manifested through the Toronto Ultra one more time. I didn't watch mini series today, or I watched a few series today in order to just kind of have some level of legitimacy to the claims I was going to make on the podcast. One of those was the Toronto Ultra stream or series, and they are looking put together. They look like a good old group of lads who are out there to kick some ass, take some titles, and get it done. I think this is
Alright.
where the pendulum is going to start swinging for the Ultra season. And if in a week we talk again and it totally didn't happen, I'll be happy to admit I was wrong. But I'm going to say 3-2 Surge. It's going to be a tough clawback.
Okay. Make sure we mark that in stream so we can clip it and shove it
Yeah,
in his face.
absolutely.
later.
2 Ultra, let me clarify. Yeah.
Next up,
Um,
we got.
I do
oh,
have
sorry.
Seattle 3-2. Seattle's looking a little weak right now. Toronto is a little bit on a little up, but like Jordan said, they got the Iceman, and Iceman wins series.
It's the accuracy difference.
The
Love it.
accuracy difference. What does Georgie have to say? The old GW.
Let's flip. Georgie speaks, and he says heads. He is liking the Seattle Surge here.
Okay.
GW.
man.
Alright.
GW is a fan of the Iceman. I love it.
Huge.
Next up-
you gotta love the Iceman. He took the surprise over the frozen river. You gotta like the Iceman.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got Optic Texas v Florida Mutineers on Saturday.
I think Florida beats him again.
Wow.
3-1 Florida.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I think that. What do they lose, Connor? Do they lose the hard point? Does Optic take the hard point and then they just sort of lose the next 3? Or,
Yeah, I think so.
You know,
because that I'm going 3-2 because I think that Optic finds a way to take both hard points. It's
Okay.
gonna be a weird one. It's a weird one.
I was looking at it. I originally had Texas 3-2, and I gotta change it. I'm gonna go Florida 3-2.
I like it. Welcome.
Wow.
I think Texas is gonna take at least probably one of the hard points. And it's really gonna come down to who wins the control, because most of some of the control maps are so just wishy washy. It's anyone's game for any of those. So I think Florida. I think Florida 3-2 here.
All right, I like it. I gotta go. Listen, this one's tough because it is the mid-season Texas meme versus the Florida can't win games that matter meme.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that Texas comes out strong in the mid-season, and they're going up 3-0 on Mutineers.
Wow. It's
okay.
Stomp.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Next up,
let's
finally,
swing
Georgie.
Oh yeah, we gotta see what George wants.
Tails, George Washington is with the majority here. He is going Florida Mutineers.
All right, hell yeah.
Good man. Good man.
Last up, we got the main feature of the night on Saturday, your own Minnesota Rocker versus LAG, Battle of the Purple Teams. What
Come
are y'all
on,
thinking?
good purple guys.
Yes.
I think that this is a winnable game for Minnesota. I think they win 3-2.
I actually have the exact same map count. I think Minnesota is by far the better team, but from what we've seen, they've not played clean enough to put series away early.
Right.
No more
so
Volk.
Yeah, I have Minnesota 3-2.
No more Volk either. I got Minnesota 3-1, including map 1. I think they drop.
I love it.
I think they drop a. I think they drop a control, and they show up as a respawn team on Saturday. So look out for the meme, y'all.
Team, huh?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I might be posting that meme myself from the watch party.
Gets it.
You know?
Yeah, man.
Nothing would make me happier.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that's a great. So, Connor, what do you think?
I'm gonna say 3-1 Minnesota. I think LAG is down on their luck at the moment. Minnesota's on the upswing.
Yep.
So I think they're gonna show up first match of the weekend, come out with some fury and do some quick work.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
The coin, gentlemen.
I was gonna say I want to see George's beautiful face.
Is for Minnesota Rocker.
Let's go.
He goes heads. He goes heads. Come on.
Get in, lads.
We got 3 matchups on Sunday. First one, Seattle Surge versus Paris Legion. As Legion's #1 fan, let me go first. I'm calling Legion in 5, baby.
Oh, okay.
You're giving up your loyalty to accuracy? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. What happened? You changed,
I'm
man.
a big... I fell off plus ratio. Listen, Surge is a good team. I'm really rooting for them. But you guys forgot Legion is winning Major 3.
That's
That's
it.
a good season to start that. That's right.
Yep. Major 3 belongs to Legion.
I think that Paris Legion loses again, and I think that they lose 3-0. I think that they get. I for some reason just have decided that Paris are not winning a map this weekend.
Hater.
Okay.
That's
Connor,
not very on guard of you.
I'm joining the Claw Squad's very own with this one, Jordan.
Let's go!
Really?
Yeah, let's get it.
Surge hater.
A little bit, not so much. I just think they don't have the momentum backing them up right now. So
damn, the dick riding's crazy.
Paris is heating up a little bit. Temp is out here to bloody some noses.
Okay.
Nero's not on this team, but he has a good team surrounding him, and they're just gonna start to heat up a little with his momentum. So I think it's gonna go the distance, just like Jordan's detailed. But I think Paris has a chip on their shoulder that they're trying to prove something at the moment. So.
Electric.
Yeah, Paris is on a big uptick. Little stat that I found: Gravity had a 1.24 at the Pro-Am. He's really picking it up. John was positive. John hasn't been that great this year. He was at 1.01, just over positive. Temp's getting the help that he's been needing, but I still think they lose the series 3-1 to Seattle. Iceman clutches up. Seattle 3-1.
Damn.
Okay. Gentlemen, the coin is on Team Paris Legion.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's me against the world on this one.
Yeah, yeah.
And it feels bad.
That's funny.
All right, we got 2 more. What's next?
Next up, we have Thieves and very own Minnesota Rocker. What are you guys thinking?
I have Minnesota 3-2. I think they get a lot more practice. They've been getting better and better with each match they've been playing. So I see them, 3-2 LAG, get a lot of momentum, get some good practice in. And I think they take Thieves because, Minnesota's a strong search team. So I think that's at least a map and a half in their advantage. And then they can steal a hard point there. And let's say they win 2 searches and a hard point. That's good enough for me. That's a 3-2 win on that. So I got Minnesota 3-2.
I like it, man.
I
honestly, I was thinking kind of the same thing. Maybe I'm just optimistic. I'm just trying to manifest a W here. I definitely think it's going to be competitive, but let's trust our guys. Map 5. I really want to see a couple of sweaty series. I feel like I've been waiting for a reason to really get back into the CDL, and I'm hoping that this is it. It's tough when it's just disappointment after disappointment. So let's hit the ground running. I'm gonna be optimistic here and say Minnesota over Thieves 3-2.
Connor?
Yeah, I'll echo the same idea. I'm wanting Minnesota Rocker to win this one 3-2. I think we're going to just have another series on our hands. It's going to be kind of a coin flip per map, and it's going to be one small mistake, just like we did against Optic, that will decide it. And we've taken some L's just off of dropping the ball on those small mistakes that we've made on across enough maps. So just have it where we don't falter at those points, and we close out the series. But I'm going to say 3-2.
Boys, I think the odds tell me to go for LA here, and I just think that they're gonna win anyway. But I think that Minnesota steals the first. No, doesn't steal. Takes the first hard point and loses 3-1.
Wow.
The coin.
Okay.
I mean, it's just like we're talking like LA is a top 2 team, and I just think that I
don't know about top 2, but I think they look good.
Sure. Maybe not top 2, but like top 5, and Minnesota's got some changes, and sort of like I still think that Minnesota isn't quite there yet.
Sure.
But the coin disagrees. They landed tails going for the Minnesota Rocker here.
That's right.
George Washington, you heard
Big
it
Daddy
here,
George.
is a
He's a
Rocker
Minnesota
fan.
guy, I guess.
Sure is.
Big Minnesota guy.
Last but
all right.
not least, let's round it off with the last match of the week: New York Subliners versus Boston Breach. Who y'all got?
My heart tells me Boston, but my head tells me New York. I am going with. First of all, it's weird because this is their only game this week.
Yeah, I just was thinking about that. It's funny that Breach only has one matchup.
Yep. So
that's interesting. Maybe they'll be, sort of ice cold, not really playing that much this weekend. So I'm gonna give it to NYSL, and I'm gonna call it a 3-2.
Okay.
I'm hoping for a lot of close games this weekend. I think it's what the people want, and I think it's very possible with sort of everything up in the air.
Very well said. I'm thinking I like the Breach squad a lot. I'm rooting for Zinni. I'm saying Breach in 4.
Okay.
I'm just even though Subliners came off of a W from the Pro-Am, I don't know, man. I'm still just not that impressed. Kismet is good. He's been good in the past. I just don't know if it's enough. Breach in 4.
I'm going to say New York 3-1. Off this last event, there's one thing they've shown us is just they know how to play Respawn at the moment, which is where Breach is kind of struggling to make the pieces work. You have Nero, who is basically at the top of the S&D charts at the moment. So I think NY is going to drop the search and destroy in this event. Nero is going to show up, really pack a punch, but he needs to pick it up in the other game modes. And you have methods popping off in Respawn, and I think Breach is very close to hitting that tipping point to where they're going to be at the top of the rankings, but they just need everyone to click at once in the game modes and be consistent with it.
All right.
Hell yeah. What's George got to say?
Gentlemen, the coin goes for Boston Breach That's
Coin goes for
Boston.
Boston.
that's 3 tails straight right there.
Yeah. Dalton, what were you gonna
For
say?
your away teams.
I think Boston 3-2. I've said it earlier. I think New York won this event, and it wasn't the most serious event for some of the other teams. I mean, a couple of the teams they beat in the bracket was a Paris team that's starting to look like they might be competitive,
Okay.
and Toronto, who is also a team that is starting to look like they might be competitive, and that's who they played to get into the finals. And a lot of the other teams didn't take this event as seriously. I just don't think they have it in them, and I think Boston is really going to look for a win here because they've had a rough. They got third at Major 2. They wanted better than that, and then they got first rounded by LAT in the bracket play of this. So
Sure.
I think Boston's going to come out looking for blood, and I think they're going to find it in New York.
I dig it.
One
Well,
last idea
yeah.
relating to the CDL is once again the team that wins the grand finals is the team that came out of the bottom half of the bracket
Yeah.
Yes.
into the finals. So just throwing that out there is the
Don't do too
wives'
good.
tale a legitimate concern or not? But
Yeah.
that may be a
Yeah.
conversation.
That'll
for later.
be an interesting one to just follow up on if it's just another lowers run or lower bracket run, especially on that championship Sunday.
Mhm.
Fellas,
Gentlemen,
we made it.
shall we
The
call it?
first episode live of the Clawdcast. First off, big shout out to everybody in chat. I am
thanks so
genuinely
much.
Thank you,
surprised
thank you.
and impressed by the amount of chatter we've had coming through here since we started. So
Me too.
for that,
Yeah.
whoever's been lurking still, thank you so much. We're gonna be back next Monday with a check-in. We're gonna see how we
That's
did
right.
on our predictions. We're gonna cover
Gonna see
the
ya.
hot goss, the CDL news. Be on the lookout, man. This will be on YouTube in a couple of days here before matches start. In case
That's
you
right.
missed the whole thing, you can go back. You do not want to miss Parkii pitching a tapeworm to gamers. I'll tell you what.
It's what the people want.
It's what the
You know,
people want.
It is.
With that being said, anybody else got final words?
No, thank you so much for listening. It seems like a pretty good first episode, and we hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next week.
I agree.
Yeah, thank you all so much. We
Thank
love
you.
each and every one of you. See you next week.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.
All right. Thanks, y'all.